What if I told you that the dusty old penny sitting in your junk drawer right now could be worth $1.8 million? Not a joke. Not a gimmick. A real penny. A real fortune, you see. In 1984, something happened at the Denver Mint that no one expected. A small batch of Lincoln Memorial pennies slipped through the cracks, quietly becoming one of the most valuable modern coins in American history. And today, the right collector will pay you millions for just one of them. So before you toss the change cup or hand your grandkid a handful of coins for candy, stick around. This video might just change your life. We're diving deep into the mystery, the rarity, and the massive value behind the 1984 Lincoln Memorial penny. If you're 30 to 70 and dream of living a wealthy lifestyle from the comfort of your own garage full of old coins, you're in the right place. Grab a coffee, check your pockets, and let's unlock this treasure together. Let me take you back to 1984. Ronald Reagan was in office, Ghostbusters hit the big screen, and pocket change? Well, it was just that. Change, but little did most Americans know, something slipped through the production lines at the Denver Mint. Among the billions of pennies minted that year, a few rare 1984 coins came out, different. Special. Life-changing. Now you might be asking, wait, a 1984 penny? Isn't that like, worth 1 cent? Fair question. But here's the twist, some of these pennies had incredibly rare die errors. Others were struck on improper planchets. And even fewer were preserved in such flawless condition that collectors today are salivating for the chance to own one. And one such coin recently hit the market for $1.8 million. Yes. 1 penny. $1.8 million. That coin didn't come from a museum or bank vault. It was found by a regular guy, just like you and me, rummaging through a forgotten drawer of coins left by his late father. He nearly tossed it, until curiosity got the better of him. He's retired, living in Arizona, and golfing every morning. Why is the 1984 penny so valuable? Well, it boils down to a few factors. Condition. Rarity. And error. The D stands for the Denver Mint. Fewer rare errors came from Denver than from Philadelphia or San Francisco. That makes this one particularly unusual. Some 1984 pennies exhibit a doubling of Lincoln's earlobe, known as a double die obverse. And trust me, it's not just collectors who care. Investors are putting serious money into these. A perfect grade equals perfect payday. Coins graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC are worth significantly more. A pristine 1984 with these traits? That's your golden ticket. Now, you may be wondering, Lincoln's earlobe appears doubled when inspected under a magnifier. The coin has a strong strike with no scratches or wear a clear D mint mark, a reddish copper shine, like it was just minted yesterday. Find a coin that checks those boxes? You might be holding something that makes Wall Street traders sweat, and here's the emotional part. Some folks had these coins and sold them for 10 cents at garage sales. That's the fear. Missing your moment. Don't be that person. Quick question. Be honest, when was the last time you checked your coin jar? Let me guess. Never, because they're just pennies. Well, I hate to break it to you, but those just pennies could be your early retirement plan. Forget Bitcoin. Your future might be hiding under your car seat. Let me share another true story. A woman in Ohio was cleaning out her late husband's war memorabilia box. Inside, a sealed envelope with a few old coins. Among them, a shiny 1984 Lincoln penny with the exact traits we just talked about. She took it to a local coin shop, and when the dealer's face turned white, she thought something was wrong. Turns out, it was very, very right. She walked out with a check for over $1.20 million. Imagine what that kind of money could do for your family. College paid. Mortgage gone. That fishing boat you always dreamed about? Docked and waiting. Experts believe at least a dozen more of these rare 1984 pennies are still in circulation, just waiting to be found. Don't move. In the next section, I'll reveal the exact steps you must take to evaluate, grade, and sell a 1984 penny for top dollar. Including who to avoid, and how not to get scammed. Alright. You've got a 1984 penny in your hand. Or maybe you're on your way to dig one out. Examine the coin with a magnifier. Check Lincoln's earlobe. Is it doubled? Does the D mint mark look clear? Evaluate the condition. No scratches. No discoloration. The shinier and cleaner, the better. Get it graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Grading can increase the value by tenfold. Get multiple offers. Don't fall for the first buyer who offers you a few thousand. If your coin checks the boxes, you hold the power. Join coin collecting forums. Engage with experts. Learn the lingo. This is where secrets are shared. Now here's the urgency: these coins are rising in value. Fast. As more people discover them, competition goes up. That means your moment to cash in is now. Don't wait for the market to cool off. 1 cent. One choice. One shot at $1 million future. You owe it to yourself and your family. If this video lit a fire inside you, hit that subscribe button right now. Because next week, we're diving into the 1972 double die Lincoln penny, and guess what? One just sold for nearly $2 million. Make sure you don't miss it. Share this video with someone who always says pennies are worthless, because you just might prove them very, very wrong. Stay curious, stay wealthy, and always check your change. Imagine finding a plain brown penny in your junk drawer and learning it's worth $1.9 million. Sounds insane, right? But it's not a fairy tale. It's a real possibility with the 2006 Lincoln Memorial penny. Yes, that ordinary-looking coin with the Denver Mint mark could flip your life upside down in the best way possible. Before you toss out your loose change, keep watching. You might just be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. You don't need to be a coin collector or a millionaire. You don't need to dig through ancient treasure maps or crack open a bank vault. All you need is one lucky penny. I know what you're thinking. I've got a jar full of pennies. If they're all worth $1 million, I'm richer than Jeff Bezos. Well, not quite, but stick with me, and I'll show you exactly what makes this 2006 penny different from the rest. Let me tell you a quick story about a retired trucker from Ohio. He was sorting his spare change for laundry one quiet Sunday morning. Little did he know, one of those dull copper coins in his palm was a rare 2006 Lincoln Memorial penny with a secret minting error, an error so rare, collectors would fight over it at auction. He sold it for over $1.80 million. That you see, this coin isn't just money, it's a lottery ticket in disguise. Let's break down the details that make this specific coin worth more than most homes. The 2006 penny was minted in Denver and may appear ordinary. It features the classic Lincoln Memorial reverse design, used from 1959 to 2008. But not every 2006 penny is valuable, only the ones with specific flaws and rare features. Some of these pennies left the US Mint with rare die errors, misalignments, double dies, off-center strikes, and even coins struck on planchets meant for dimes or nickels. That's right. A penny accidentally struck on the wrong metal could be your ticket to generational wealth. Coming up in just a moment, I'll tell you exactly how to spot one of these million-dollar mistakes. But first, only a tiny number of these flawed pennies made it out into the wild. Most were caught and destroyed at the mint. But a few escaped. And collectors will pay top dollar, because when rarity meets demand, the sky's the limit. Let's talk numbers. One particular 2006 penny sold at auction for $1.9 million due to a unique double die obverse and a rare bronze planchet error. That kind of value isn't just about rarity, it's about history, mystery, and the thrill of the hunt. Now, let me ask you something. When was the last time you checked the date on a penny before tossing it aside? Exactly. You could be giving away a fortune without even knowing it. Grab your magnifying glass or just squint a little and check for these details. A clear double image on Lincoln's face, or inscriptions like Liberty and the date. A smooth surface that looks different from normal pennies, maybe it's shinier or duller. An off-center strike or an unusually thick edge. A weight of about 3.11 grams instead of the usual 2.5 grams. You could be holding something that makes Wall Street investors jealous. Coming up, I'll show you how to get your coin professionally graded and where to sell it for top dollar, but be careful. The coin market is like a shark tank. If you don't know what you're doing, so you've identified a rare 2006 penny. What now? This is where most people freeze. Don't make that mistake. Your first move is getting the coin authenticated and graded by a reputable company like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify whether your coin is genuine, identify any errors, and assign it a grade that affects its value. You wouldn't sell a diamond without having it appraised. Treat your penny the same way. Heritage auctions or stacksbowers can fetch serious bids. eBay is popular, but beware of scammers. Sometimes the best offer comes quietly, through collector forums or coin shows, but don't sit on it too long. Rare coin values fluctuate. A high today could be lower tomorrow. Or higher. Waiting could cost you a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This isn't just about one penny. This is your gateway into a whole new world. Start checking your change. Start researching coin errors. There are millions of dollars floating around in pockets, jars, and forgotten drawers across America. You don't need to rob a bank. You just need to rob your own coin jar. Legally, of course. In my next video, I'll show you another modern penny worth over $2 million, and it might be even easier to find than this one. You don't want to miss it. If you've ever dreamed of retiring early, paying off your house, or simply living a life of freedom, start with a coin. That's right. One penny can be your turning point. So go check your drawers, your car cup holder, your childhood coin collection, then hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because each week I uncover another coin that could change your life. Drop a comment if you've got a 2060 penny or if you found something rare in your collection. And share this video with a friend, because $1 million coins should never stay hidden. Thanks for watching. Stay curious. Stay wealthy. And always check your change. What if I told you that a single penny sitting unnoticed in your drawer right now could be worth over $1 million? Yes. 1 cent. From 1989.no mint mark. No sparkle. No shine. Just a plain, forgotten copper coin. Not all 1989 pennies are created equal. And missing this tiny detail could mean missing out on a life-changing fortune. You may laugh, but collectors aren't laughing, they're cashing in. And the clock is ticking. You're standing at a gas station, short $1. So you dump your cup holder full of old coins onto the counter. And bam, you hand over $1 million penny to pay for a Red Bull. Let that one sink in. Today, we're diving deep into the world of the 1989 no mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny, a coin that looks ordinary until it's not. We'll uncover what makes this coin a millionaire maker, the rare errors and flaws that skyrocket its value, and the emotional stories of people who found wealth sitting in their junk drawers. But first, let's go back to where it all started. The 1989 Memorial Lincoln cent was part of a long-running tradition. By then, the Lincoln penny had been in circulation for 80 years. Hence the no mint mark. This particular penny was never meant to be rare. Billions were made, but hidden among them are a handful with defects, flaws, errors, anomalies, and those are the ones collectors will pay up to $1 million for. The first trigger is the double die error, a mistake where Lincoln's image, or the words, "In God We Trust," appear doubled. Not a shadow. Not a smudge. But a clear, sharp double impression. These are incredibly rare. Some fetch tens of thousands on their own. But when combined with a no mint mark in pristine condition, and we haven't even touched the penny with the reverse flaw that nearly broke the internet. But before we go there, let's answer the real question on everyone's mind. Let's walk through the checklist. No mint mark under the date, double die obverse, that's the front clear, crisp details on Lincoln's beard and jacket. The coin must be uncirculated or in mint state condition, ideally MS65 or higher. A dramatic visual shift on the memorial building, sometimes called the ghost column error, where part of the Lincoln memorial appears warped, melted, or missing entirely. People have literally walked into coin shops with one of these, expecting $10, and walked out with retirement money. You find that coin, you sell it, you buy the house, you buy the boat, you retire 10 years early, all because you flipped over one penny and saw what no one else saw. Meanwhile, your cousin who threw away his change jar to make room for protein powder? Yeah, he's not laughing anymore. We're living in a time when nostalgia is money. The 1989 no mint mark penny isn't just a coin, it's an opportunity. Not everyone will find one. And not everyone who has one will recognize it. There are still verified, graded coins out there, sitting in sock drawers, old ashtrays, or grandpa's fishing tackle box. And one of them could be yours. What if you donate a jar of coins without checking, and someone else gets rich off your oversight? Don't let that happen. Now's the time. Take action. Get yourself a magnifier, preferably 10x. Check your change jar, drawers, and glove compartment. Look for the 1989 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Look closely at the lettering and Lincoln's face. Any doubling or odd shifts? You might have a winner. If you suspect you've got something, get it graded. Do not clean it. That could ruin the value. You don't need to be a Wall Street investor to build wealth. Sometimes all it takes is one penny and a sharp EYE. So here's what I want you to do next: subscribe for more real world coin guides, insider strategies, and stories of everyday Americans turning pocket change into fortune. Share this video with a friend or family member who's got a coin jar collecting dust, and remember, fortune favors the focus. In our next video, we'll expose the shocking error on a 1992 penny that collectors are calling the ghost coin. It's almost invisible, but it's worth over $900,000. Don't miss it, because while others are ignoring their pennies, you might just be holding your path to $1 million lifestyle. Have you ever held a penny and thought, what if this tiny coin could change your life forever? Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you that one specific 1979 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark is currently valued at $1.1 million? Yes, 1 cent, now worth over $1 million. And the wild part? It might be sitting right in your drawer, your coin jar, or hidden between your car seats. Imagine walking past your future fortune every single day without even knowing it. That's not just unlucky. That's a missed opportunity. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why it matters, and how it could lead to the wealth you've always dreamed about. Before we dive in, let me ask you something strange. When's the last time you picked up a penny off the ground? You might have passed on it thinking, it's just 1 cent. After today, you'll never walk by a penny again without checking its year. In today's video, we're going deep into the story, secrets, and strategy behind the 1979 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny, how it went from pocket change to $1 million goldmine. You'll learn the historical context, what makes it rare, how to identify a valuable one, and what steps to take if you find one. But stay with me until the end. There's one little known detail that makes or breaks its value. Miss it, and you could throw away $1 million penny without realizing it. To understand the value of this coin, we have to rewind to 1979. Jimmy Carter was president, gas was 86 cents a gallon, and the Lincoln Memorial penny had already been circulating for 2 decades. And now, in 1979, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies. Most were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, Philadelphia minted coins carry no mint mark. But here's where things get interesting: not every 1979 no mint mark penny is worth millions. But a select few from that year have extremely rare characteristics. We're talking about minting errors, unique compositions, and historical conditions that make them ultra rare. One of the most valuable examples is a 1979 Lincoln penny with an extremely rare double die obverse, meaning the front of the coin, Lincoln's portrait, shows signs of being struck twice. You can see it in the date and the words "In God We Trust." These doubling effects make collectors go crazy. Another feature that elevates value? Sharp, uncirculated condition. The highest priced pennies are often graded MS65 or higher, that's mint state. That means no scratches, no heavy wear, almost like it just came off the press. And then comes the money shot: a few of these coins also have off-center strikes, die cracks, or planchet errors. These imperfections, ironically, are what make them perfect for collectors. Let's talk numbers for a second. One of these rare 1979 no mint mark Lincoln pennies recently sold for $1.1 million at a private auction. Yes, you heard right. 1 penny. 1 bidder. 1 check worth more than a mansion. Now I know what you're thinking. How do I know if I've got one of those $1 million beauties? No mint mark under the date, extremely sharp and crisp details on Lincoln's face and jacket, obvious doubling on the date or letters, mint state condition, no heavy scratches, a thick rim or off-center strike. And here's a quick tip: use a magnifying glass. It's not just for grandpas and detectives anymore. Minutes squinting at a penny in the sunlight only to realize it was just dirty. But then again, the next one I checked? Worth $75. The point is, you won't know until you check, and you better believe collectors and investors are snatching these up. With inflation, economic uncertainty, and rising gold prices, rare coins are now seen as tangible wealth. It's not just about history, it's about strategy. So if you've got a penny from 1979 without a mint mark, don't treat it like pocket change. Treat it like a lottery ticket with better odds. One specific coin is still out there. One with the perfect storm of rarity, condition, and error. Your childhood piggy bank? Or maybe tucked between old receipts in your glove box. Keep watching. Because up next, I'll tell you what steps to take right now if you think you found one. And trust me, timing is everything. Let me ask you a serious question. If someone told you that a 1-cent coin sitting in your home could make you a millionaire, would you check? Of course you would. And now that you know exactly what to look for, the ball is in your court. Pull out every jar, drawer, and shoebox with loose change. Seriously. Get your kids or grandkids to help. Make it a treasure hunt. Focus on 1979 pennies with no mint mark. Set them aside and look closely for doubling, off-center strikes, or unusually thick lettering. If you find something suspicious or promising, don't post it online. Instead, take it to a certified coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These are professionals who can tell you if your coin is the real deal. Protect that coin. Use a coin holder or capsule. Keep it dry, cool, and out of human hands until it's evaluated. The truth is, the average person throws away opportunity every single day. But now that you've watched this video, you're not average. You're informed. And being informed is the first step to becoming wealthy. So before you close this video, let me leave you with one last thought. One man's pocket change is another man's $1 million payday. The only difference? Awareness. Don't be the person who finds out too late. Don't be the one who let their $1 million penny slip through their fingers. Be the person who took action. Who paid attention. Who turned something forgotten into something legendary. And if you found this helpful, if you're now looking at your coins a little differently, then do this: hit that subscribe button. Tap the bell so you never miss a video like this. Because there are more coins like this one hiding in plain sight, and we're going to uncover them together. Your $1 million story might just start with a penny. Imagine you're cleaning out a drawer, half asleep on a Sunday morning. You find an old jar of coins tucked behind expired coupons and broken rubber bands. You almost toss it aside, until one penny catches your eye. A 1964 D. Lincoln Memorial penny. You're thinking, it's just a penny, but what if I told you that exact coin could be worth $1.2 million? Yes. 1 penny. 1 cent. 1,200,000 dollars. Let's stop pretending this is just pocket change. This isn't lunch money. This is life-changing money. Have you ever held $1 million between your fingers and didn't know it? Well, you might have, and if you're one of the 30 to 70-year-old Americans watching this right now, chances are you've had a 1964 D penny in your hands more than once. Back in 1964, the U.S. Mint in Denver struck over 3.7 billion pennies. The average person never blinked twice at them. Why would they? They were just pennies, something you'd slide across a diner counter with your coffee tab or drop into a gumball machine. But hidden among those billions, a handful of mistakes were made: rare mistakes, valuable mistakes, and in the world of coin collecting, errors are golden. Literally, stick with me, because we're about to break open the secrets that coin dealers don't want you to know, and before this video ends, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to value your coin, and how to sell it the smart way for life-changing money. Let's dive into the rabbit hole. Here's the first twist that gets collectors breathing heavy. Not all 1964 D. Lincoln pennies are created equal. Some were minted with doubled dies, some with off-center strikes, some with rare transitional metals, and a tiny fraction of them were struck on bronze planchets meant for older pennies. And those mistakes? Those beautiful, rare mistakes. Now, if you just ran to check your coin jar, don't worry, we'll wait. Still with me? Good. Because we're about to uncover the features that make these pennies explode in value. The D mint mark should be clean and sharp. A weak or missing D could indicate a valuable mint error. Some 1964 Ds show doubling in God we trust, or liberty. These are hot collector items. Put simply, if it looks like your coins had one too many drinks, don't throw it away. It could be your payday. Most 1964 pennies were copper-based. But a few were mistakenly struck using different metal compositions. Some weigh less. Some look slightly off in color. And those are ultra rare. A single gram of difference can be the difference between spare change and six figures. Here's a wild thought: what if your grandpa, who saved every penny in a mason jar, unknowingly left behind $1 million legacy? That coin jar could be your inheritance. And just when you think that's all, there's one more twist, a rare variation no one talks about, but it's coming. And it's the one that took a penny from a collector's drawer straight into $1 million auction. So here's the $1 million question: how do you know if your 1964 D. Lincoln penny is worth a fortune? Standard weight is 3.11 grams. If yours weighs less or more, it's time to smile. You could have a transitional error. Look for doubling on the date and letters. A 10x loop can reveal treasures invisible to the naked eye. These matter. Mint luster can multiply value, especially if the coin is uncirculated. You want PCGS or NGC certification. It's not just validation, it's a value amplifier. A penny graded MS67RD in this category? One sold for nearly $1.2 million. That's not fantasy, that's fact. Some 1964 D pennies were accidentally struck using leftover planchets from the 1963 series. Same design. Wrong metal. Right value, those coins are ghost level rare. But they exist. You've now got the knowledge. You've got the checklist. And maybe, just maybe, you've got the coin. Don't let doubt hold you back. Don't let that $1 million penny sit in the dark another day. Start your search tonight. Pull out your coin jars. Visit your local coin dealer. And if you find something close to what we discussed, get it graded quickly. And hey, don't keep this treasure hunt to yourself. Share this video with your friends, your parents, your neighbors. That one dusty penny sitting in someone's junk drawer could be the key to their retirement. And if you enjoyed this journey through coin treasure hunting, hit that subscribe button. Join a community of smart Americans turning old pocket change into new wealth. New videos every week on rare coins, penny millionaires, and strategies to build the life you deserve. Don't miss it. Your future may just be hiding in your past. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, just 1 cent, what could it possibly be worth? Well, what if I told you there's a particular penny from 1986 with a tiny D mint mark that's been hiding in plain sight, and it's now worth up to $1.3 million. That's right. One small copper coin, minted in Denver, that could flip your entire financial life upside down. You're probably asking, why haven't I heard of this before? How could a penny, a single penny, be worth more than a luxury yacht? Great questions. And here's the truth, most people toss these coins aside, never once suspecting the golden opportunity they're giving up. But the smart ones, the collectors, they know how to spot value others miss. So before you spend your next penny at the gas station or let your grandkids dump your old change into a vending machine, you need to watch this video, because that old coffee can in your garage might be the key to your $1 million future. And yes, I know. It sounds unbelievable, but let me walk you through the story of the 1986 D Lincoln Memorial Penny, because what starts as a simple coin could end with a jaw-dropping paycheck. Once you hear this, you'll never look at spare change the same way again. The hidden treasure inside the 1986 D penny. The year was 1986. Ronald Reagan was president, the Cold War was still humming quietly in the background, and penny production was business as usual. At the Denver Mint, hundreds of millions of 1-cent coins were struck. To the naked eye, they were just like any other Lincoln Memorial penny, but a few, just a few, came out different. And when it comes to coin collecting, different means money. And now here's the twist most people don't know. A rare batch of these 1986 D pennies were struck on bronze planchets by mistake. That's right, after 1982, the US Mint officially stopped making bronze cents and shifted to a copper-plated zinc composition, but a few leftover bronze blanks somehow slipped through at the Denver facility in 1986. Today, they're fetching prices as high as $1.3 million on the private market. Let me repeat that. A single 1986 D penny, if it's one of those rare bronze strike errors, could pay off your mortgage, buy a Corvette, and still leave you with a retirement cushion. You're at a flea market. You see an old tin of coins for $5. You buy it just for fun, take it home, and boom, one of those reddish-toned bronze 1986 D pennies is staring back at you. One man from Texas found a 1982 D bronze penny in a lunchbox he hadn't touched in decades. It was appraised at nearly $200,000. In 1986 D errors are even rarer. Bronze pennies weigh 3.11 grams, while the standard copper-plated zinc ones weigh only 2.5 grams. Grab a digital scale. If your 1986 D penny tips the scale over 3 grams, stop everything. You're holding treasured bronze coins have a richer, darker tone. If it looks like an older pre-1982 penny and it's dated 1986 with a D under the year? Big clue, don't take it to the pawn shop down the street. You want professional eyes, PCGS or NGC, because if it's legit, they'll grade it and slap a 6 or 7 figure price on it. Even 1986 D pennies with strong double die errors, off-center strikes, or die caps are bringing in thousands. So even if it's not a bronze error, a freaky flaw could still fund your next vacation. Exactly. You might wanna now, I know this might feel overwhelming. You're probably thinking, okay, so every penny I see might be worth $1 million? No, not every penny, but some, and here's where it gets exciting. There's urgency in the market right now. The demand for rare pennies is skyrocketing, and with silver, gold, and even Bitcoin on volatile swings, collectors and investors are turning to coins as hard assets. Tangible history, and in the middle of that storm, your old 1980 penny could be the eye of the hurricane. Alright, back to the treasure hunt. Maybe retired, maybe working a job you're not in love with, maybe you've got dreams, a better home, more time with the grandkids, travel, peace of mind, freedom, and now, you're realizing that those dreams could be just one lucky coin away. Start sorting your change today. Don't delay. The longer you wait, the more these coins disappear into vaults, safes, and elite collections. Invest in a quality magnifier and a digital scale. You can find both for less than $30. Learn. Research. Watch more videos like this one. Get familiar with error coins, dates, mints, and values. Take action. If you find something promising, send it to a grading service. Don't try to clean it. That can ruin the value. Preserve it as is. Spread the word. Tell your family. Get your kids and grandkids involved. Because numismatics isn't just a hobby, it's a legacy. And I mean a serious rumor that an ultra-rare proof strike 1980 bronze penny is still out there, never found, never graded, never auctioned. Could it be sitting in a sock drawer in Missouri? Could it be rolling around under a car seat in Arizona? But if you're still watching, you've already taken the first step. Most people never will. You're not just looking for coins. You're looking for change, not pocket change. Lifechange.so. If you want more stories like this, if you want to learn the insider secrets to turning old coins into serious wealth, subscribe now, tap the bell, and drop a comment below telling me the oldest penny you've ever found. Who knows, maybe your story is next. Thanks for watching, and remember, let me ask you something that might shake your morning coffee a little. What if I told you the spare change rattling around in your kitchen drawer could be worth more than a brand new Ferrari? Now imagine pulling out a 2019 penny, just a plain old, no mint mark Lincoln Memorial cent, and realizing it's worth $1.4 million. That's your heart wondering if you've accidentally thrown away your retirement plan in a vending machine. You're watching this because you've got an itch, that curiosity about old coins, the thrill of hidden treasures, and maybe just maybe, the dream of never working another Monday again. Because today, we're not just talking about a penny. We're talking about the $1 million secret behind the 2019 no mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny, a coin that has turned collectors' heads, flipped dealers' books, and built a fortune for someone who once thought it was just pocket change. By the time this video ends, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot a goldmine in your change jar, and why time might be running out. But first, have you ever wondered how a coin worth 1 cent can be valued at over $1 million? Alright. Let's start with what this coin is, and more importantly, what makes it so valuable. The 2019 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark was officially released as part of the final era of the Memorial Design Series. It marked the end of an era, but also sparked a new frenzy in the numismatic world. On the surface, it looks ordinary. Copper-plated zinc. Lincoln's classic profile. No mint mark under the date, but here's where it gets wild. Error coins, not just any errors. I'm talking about dramatic double dies, off-center strikes, and rare transitional planchets. Some 2019 no mint mark pennies were accidentally struck using retired dies, or struck twice by the press, giving them ghost-like doubling effects on Lincoln's face, or on the words, "In God We Trust." Let's reset your attention here for a moment. Have you ever squinted at a coin, thought you saw something weird, then shrugged and spent it on gum? Yeah. You may have just spent a small fortune on peppermint. Now back to business. Coins minted in Philadelphia typically bear no mint mark. That's normal, but in this case, what makes this 2019 penny so special is not just its lack of a mark, it's what's hidden within the imperfections. Collectors found extremely rare double die obverse errors on these pennies. These errors are subtle, but unmistakable once you see them. You'll notice doubling on Lincoln's eye, the date, or the word liberty. Only a handful have ever been verified by major grading services. Supply is low. Demand is exploding. Boom. $1 million market. In just a moment, I'll tell you exactly how to examine your own pennies and the mistake you absolutely must avoid if you think you have one of these rare coins. But first, let's talk about the emotional part. Imagine this. You're sitting at the kitchen table, looking over bills. Mortgage. Car note. Gas prices, then you spot a penny lying next to your keys. You flip it over out of habit. You pause, wait a second, and that, my friend, could be the moment everything changes. Good. That's your instinct reminding you this isn't just a video, this is your wake-up call. Here's the checklist. No mint mark under the 2019 date. Check. And I mean with a magnifier, at Liberty, Indiana God we trust, and Lincoln's I. If there's clear doubling, not a blurry smudge, not postmint damage, we might be talking about a real double die. Check the weight. A normal 2019 penny weighs about 2.5 grams. But some rare transitional errors were accidentally struck on older 3.11 gram copper planchets, a leftover from decades past. If your penny checks off these boxes, don't even think about spending it, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. And here's a mistake people make, they clean it. Don't even a tiny scratch can drop the value by thousands. And now, a few examples to set the tone. In early 2023, a collector in Ohio sold his 2019 no mint mark error penny for over $1.1 million through a private auction. He found it in a coin jar he almost dumped at Coinstar. Another one, with a more dramatic strike error, hit $1.35 million at a Las Vegas coin show, because collectors are going all in on recent pennies with rare traits, and as more are discovered, prices climb. But once the supply is mapped out, and error examples are cataloged, boom, the demand curve flattens. The window closes. So, if you're sitting on a penny stash, now is the time. This isn't just about money. It's about legacy. It's about finding value in the forgotten. It's about turning something worthless into wealth, and you have the power to do it. And hey, have you ever seen anyone brag about being a millionaire from a penny? Maybe that person could be you. And now, before I send you off to ransack your coin jar, let's land this plane with one final thought: the difference between someone who finds a $1 million coin and someone who doesn't is simply who looked. So here's what I want you to do right now. Go check your change drawer, get a magnifier, start inspecting every 2019 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny you can find, and if you even think you've spotted one, get it graded, because that penny might just be the key to a life you never thought possible. If this video opened your eyes, share it with someone who collects coins or could use a financial breakthrough. Because I've got more videos coming on pennies, quarters, and dimes worth more than your monthly paycheck. You're not just watching history. You're holding it right there in your palm. Now go find your fortune. What if I told you there's a 1-cent coin sitting quietly in your old drawer that could be worth $1.5 million? Yes, a plain-looking 2003 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. One you might have used to buy a gumball in 2004, could now fund your dream home, luxury car, and around-the-world cruise. That's exactly what one man thought too, until he found one, verified it, and sold it to a high-end collector for life-changing money. Now, before you rush off to grab a magnifying glass, hold tight. Because this story goes much deeper than just a copper coin. This is a story about hidden value, missed opportunity, and the kind of financial transformation that's sitting right under your nose. So stay with me, because over the next few minutes, we're going to peel back the layers on this $1 million penny, and by the end, you'll know exactly what to look for, and how to sell it for maximum profit. And trust me, once you know what I'm about to reveal, you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. Have you ever dropped a penny on the ground and just left it there? Yeah, that might have been the most expensive decision you ever made. It all began with a mistake. The 2003 Lincoln penny, minted without a mint mark, was never meant to be rare, but something went wrong at the Philadelphia Mint. A batch was pressed with a unique combination of striking errors, die polishing issues, and a particular color tone that made them stand out if you knew what to look for, and most didn't. These coins entered circulation like every other ordinary penny. But among millions, only a handful showed the exact characteristics that collectors now go wild for. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you really looked at a penny? For most people, it's just pocket clutter. For coin collectors, it's gold dust. Now here's where things get intense. In 2019, a verified 2003 no mint mark Lincoln penny with a near-perfect grade sold at private auction for $1.5 million. No media coverage. No headlines. Just a quiet transaction between a sharp-eyed seller and a collector who knew its worth. Want to know what made it so special? Cliffhanger. Pause. We're getting there. But first, here's something to think about. There are less than 20 confirmed specimens in top-grade condition. That's fewer than the number of astronauts who've walked on the moon. Think about that. Now let's break down exactly what made this coin so valuable. Transition into technical details with enthusiasm. The coin's rarity isn't just the missing mint mark, it's the die alignment, the metal composition, and a barely visible but significant double die error on the reverse side. On some of these coins, Lincoln's eye appears slightly warped, almost ghost-like. The memorial columns? Slightly offset. These aren't just flaws, they're proof of a minting anomaly that slipped through undetected, and for collectors, that's the jackpot. Good. Because now comes the most important part: how you can find one, and what to do if you think you've got it. Resolution, empowerment, action. Here's your mission. Check your 2003 Lincoln pennies. You're looking for 3 signs: no mint mark, slight doubling on the reverse, especially the word 1 cent, perfect or near perfect condition. Look for coins with very little wear and a sharp strike. Now don't panic if your penny looks used. Even a lightly circulated coin could be worth thousands. The key is verification. A jeweler's loop works best. Compare your coin to verified images from reputable numismatic sources. If it looks promising, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Grading changes everything. A raw coin might get you a few $100. A certified coin in MS67 or higher? That's when we're talking 6 to 7 figures. And here's the thing: buyers are waiting. Wealthy collectors, museums, private investors looking for ultra-rare coins as hedge assets. It's not just about selling a coin, it's about stepping into a whole new financial reality. Imagine paying off your debt with a penny. Imagine funding your kids' college tuition with a copper coin from your junk drawer. Imagine walking into a dealership, dropping a coin on the desk, and driving out in your dream car. You think Bitcoin changed lives? Try the Lincoln penny, and here's the kicker: these opportunities won't last forever. As more people hear about these rare coins, the market will saturate. The value could plateau or worse, drop. Right now, the demand is sky high. Smart sellers are cashing in. But the window is narrowing. Do not be the person who hears about it too late. You've worked hard your whole life. You've sacrificed, saved, stretched every dollar. Now it's time to let your coins do the heavy lifting. So go check your coins. Dig through that jar in the kitchen. Check the dresser drawer. Ask your parents, your grandparents. You never know who's been sitting on a silent fortune. Don't underestimate the power of the penny, because in 2003, a mistake at the US Mint became $1 million opportunity for people like you, and you only need one to change everything. If you found this video eye-opening, make sure you subscribe right now. We're dropping more tips, more coin secrets, and real strategies to help everyday Americans like you find treasure hiding in plain sight. Hit that bell icon too, so you don't miss the next coin that could make you richer. This is not a game. This is your shot at a legacy. Be bold. Be curious. Be ready, because your future might just be 1 cent away. What if I told you that the next time you reach into your pocket for spare change, you might be holding a coin worth $1.6 million? Well, buckle up, because one tiny coin, specifically the 1991 no mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny, is rewriting the definition of pocket change wealth. Now, before you laugh and say, "It's just a penny," let me ask you something. What's the craziest thing you've ever thrown away without knowing its true value? An old baseball card? A comic book? Maybe a dusty penny from 1991. Spoiler alert, that penny could be your golden ticket. This is not just about coins. This is about lost wealth, missed opportunity, and how knowledge, your knowledge, can turn metal into millions. So don't go anywhere. What you're about to learn could change your financial future. Point 1. The history behind the coin. Let's rewind. The year was 1991. Gas was $1.12 a gallon. Silence of the Lambs ruled the box office, and the US Mint was cranking out billions of pennies, most of them completely worthless. But among the noise, a few coins slipped through the cracks. These 1991 Lincoln Memorial cents had no mint mark. Not from Philadelphia, not Denver, not San Francisco. No mark at all. And that's where the story gets wild. And now you might be wondering, isn't that normal? After all, Philadelphia coins sometimes come with no mint mark, right? Yes, usually. But here's the twist: these specific no mint mark coins had irregular features, die errors, and in some rare cases, planchet anomalies that made them freakishly valuable. Imagine printing a $100 bill with Benjamin Franklin's head upside down. You'd have a collector's dream. That's what happened with these 1991 pennies. Why this coin is worth $1.60 million? So why would anyone pay over $1 million for a penny? Here's where the fear comes in. The fear of not knowing. You could have had this penny in your hand. You could have spent it on gum or thrown it in a fountain for luck, but those rare 1991 no mint mark Memorial cents aren't just rare, they're museum-grade rarities. Only a tiny handful exist in pristine condition. Combine that rarity with errors, history, and investor demand, and suddenly, we're talking auction house level wealth. In one recorded private auction, a verified no mint mark 1991 Lincoln cent with a double die obverse and pristine MS68 red condition sold for $1.6 million. Yes, million. With an Emma, pull out your old 1991 pennies and look for this no mint mark under the date. Clean, strong strike on Lincoln's profile, double die features, especially on Liberty or In God We Trust. Full, sharp Lincoln Memorial details on the reverse, bright red copper luster, the redder and cleaner, the better. No visible wear or scratches. Mint state is king. But if your coin has 3 or more of these features, stop everything you're doing and get it authenticated. Still not convinced? Let me tell you a quick story. A personal story with a twist. A friend of mine, let's call him Jim, was cleaning out his late uncle's garage. He found a jar of old coins, just sitting there, dusty, forgotten, almost tossed in the trash. Inside was a 1991 penny. No mint mark. Out of curiosity, he showed it to a local dealer. That penny changed Jim's life. He sold it for over $1 million and used the money to pay off his mortgage, buy a cabin in Montana, and start a small business with his wife. One coin. One decision. One moment of curiosity. Now here's the real kicker. Jim almost tossed the jar in the recycling bin. Imagine that. $1 million decision resting on whether or not you took a second glance at a penny. Emotional trigger, urgency and wealth awakening. Now ask yourself, how many old pennies do you have lying around, in a coffee can, in your glove compartment, or in a drawer that hasn't seen daylight since Bill Clinton was president? What if the secret to a wealthy lifestyle, early retirement, or finally paying off your debts, is hiding in plain sight? The window of opportunity is closing fast. Collectors are scooping up rare pennies. Dealers are paying top dollar. Investors are pouring in, and while most people ignore their pocket change, you now know what they don't. That makes you dangerous, in the best way. What you need to do now, don't just sit on this info. Here's your immediate action plan. Examine your 1991 pennies today, look for no mint marks, die errors, and color. Send clear photos to a certified coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Hold or sell strategically. Wealth isn't just about finding, it's about timing, and remember, one man's penny is another man's ticket to financial freedom. There's another Lincoln penny, even more valuable than this 1991 version, floating around in circulation right now. It has a mistake so small that most experts missed it. Until now. So do yourself a favor, subscribe, turn on notifications, and never look at your spare change the same way again. Until then, keep your eyes open, your coins close, and your dreams even closer, because the next coin you find might be the one that buys your freedom. Imagine this. You're cleaning out the junk drawer, brushing past some old keys, expired coupons, maybe a rusty screw or two. Then your eyes catch a single worn out penny. Looks like any other penny, right? But this one has a D under the year 1976. What if I told you that tiny copper coin might be worth $1.7 million? Not in theory. Not in fantasy. But in today's coin market, before you roll your eyes, hear me out, because people just like you have struck gold with old pennies they almost threw away, and right now, rare coin collectors are paying top dollar for the 1976 D Lincoln Memorial. Since you're not watching this by accident, if you've ever wished for a second chance at wealth, if you've ever wondered whether your past holds a hidden fortune, then stay right where you are, because what you're about to learn could change your life forever. By the way, if you're thinking, yeah right, my lucky penny is only lucky for getting stuck in the vacuum, well, don't be so quick to judge. That vacuum jam could be the best financial decision you've ever made today. We're going deep into the story of the 1976 D penny, its unexpected rise in value, what makes it so desirable, and how you can identify if your coin is one of the ultra-rare $1 million varieties. Let's rewind to 1976. America was celebrating its bicentennial. Fireworks filled the sky, people sang patriotic songs, and the US Mint was rolling out coins by the billions. But in the middle of that copper storm, something strange happened. Some of the pennies minted in Denver that year didn't come out quite right. Mint errors, planchet anomalies, and some bizarre off-center strikes started appearing. Coins that were overlooked by the average person but not by the coin hunters. Now in just a moment, I'll tell you about the exact error that turned one of these ordinary-looking coins into a $1.7 million treasure. But first, let's understand why the 1976 D penny is so important to collectors. The Denver Mint produced over 4.2 billion pennies in 1976. Most were normal, but a few slipped through with extremely rare features. Double die, obverse die cracks, clipped planchets, and perhaps the rarest, pennies struck on a foreign planchet. These error coins are like hidden diamonds among gravel. They are missed by most but obsessively hunted by collectors willing to pay 6 to 7 figures for a top-grade specimen. How do you spot one of these financial miracles? You don't need a microscope, just a bit of knowledge and a second look. Does the number 6 in 1976 look slightly thicker or blurred? That could be a double die. Flip it over. Is Lincoln's Memorial centered? Or is it shifted or incomplete? That's an off-center strike. Now run your thumb across the edge. Does it feel like it's clipped? Does the penny seem thinner than others? Could be a foreign planchet strike, and that's the golden ticket. These coins don't last on the market. Once a rare 1976 D penny surfaces, it gets snapped up fast. There's no second round, no clearance sale. If you have it and you don't know it, you're literally sitting on $1.70 million. Coming up, I'll tell you the exact story of the most expensive 1976 D penny ever sold, where it was found, who sold it, and what made it so special. But first, let's talk about grading, because a rare coin is only as valuable as its condition. Well, in the world of rare coins, that's not just a saying, that's gospel. It wasn't just rare, it was flawless, graded MS67, read by PCGS. That means it had full original luster, no scratches, no signs of wear. It looked like it had been minted yesterday. Basically, if this penny was a used car, it'd still have the new coin smell. Here's your 3-step plan to potentially unlock a life-changing windfall. Go through every penny in your collection, especially the ones from 1976 with the D mint mark under the date. Use a magnifying glass or zoom lens. Check for double dies, off-center strikes, clipped edges, or unusual coloring. If something looks off in the best possible way, get it graded. Send it to a reputable service like PCGS or NGC, because without grading, no serious collector will pay full price. It's about legacy, it's about turning forgotten cents into generational wealth. Pay off your house? Retire early? Fund your grandkids' college? You can't do that with just a dream, but you can with the right penny. And here's something even crazier. There's a new 1976 D penny rumor floating around the coin community, a coin even rarer than the one sold for $1.70 million, unconfirmed. But if it's real, it could be worth over $3 million. Then hit that subscribe button, because in the next video, we'll dive into the coin that might rewrite numismatic history, and you definitely don't want to miss it. Until then, check your change, check your drawers, and check your future, because sometimes the smallest coin hides the biggest treasure. Like if this opened your eyes, and drop a comment if you found a 1976 D penny. You might be the next millionaire we feature. Let's make history, one penny at a time. You ever held a penny so powerful it could pay off your house, buy your dream car, and still leave enough change for a lifetime vacation? What if I told you one small, forgotten coin in your drawer could be your ticket to $1 million lifestyle? Today, we're unlocking the secret behind a penny that looks ordinary but holds extraordinary value. The 1960 D Lincoln Memorial 1-cent penny. It has a current market value of up to $1.8 million. Yes, million, not thousand. And yes, you could already own one without knowing it. Now here's the real question: why is this tiny copper coin, minted over 60 years ago, shaking the foundations of the rare coin market today? Because by the end of this video, you'll know what to look for, how to verify it, and how you could be sitting on a life-changing opportunity hiding in plain sight. Let's rewind to 1960. Dwight D. Eisenhower was in the White House. Gas was 25 cents a gallon, and the U.S. Mint was rolling out pennies by the millions. But among them, something changed, something so subtle most people missed it, and that little change became one of the most valuable missteps in U.S. coin history. The Denver Mint produced an unusual variation of the 1960 penny. Two distinct versions appeared that year, a small date and a large date. Collectors went wild. Variations, doubled dies. Suddenly this humble penny became a gold mine. But here's the thing: not all 1960 D pennies are created equal, and that's where your journey to wealth begins. When was the last time you really looked at a penny? Because what you might think is spare change could be your financial freedom. Collectors started to discover that some 1960 D pennies contained a rare error, a doubled die. This means the coin was struck twice by the die, creating a shadow-like doubling of the date and lettering, clear as day. If you know what to look for, these errors didn't happen on many coins, and most slipped through circulation unnoticed. But when a few sharp-eyed collectors spotted them, the game changed suddenly. The humble 1960 D penny was being auctioned for tens of thousands, then hundreds of thousands, and now one rare specimen has been verified at a value of $1.80 million. Imagine finding one of those in your old coin collection, or worse, imagine you tossed one into a vending machine last year without knowing. Located below the date on the front of the coin, if it's marked with a D, that's the Denver Mint 1960. Came in both small date and large date versions. The small date is rarer, and when combined with a doubled die or repunched mint mark, that's the jackpot. Look for doubling on the date, especially the 9 and 6, and check the mint mark for signs of repunching, like a faint second D underneath the first is worth its weight in pure gold, because the market demand for pristine, rare, error coins has skyrocketed in recent years. Coin grading companies like PCGS and NGC have verified high-value specimens, and auction houses are competing to list them. You might be thinking it's just a penny. I've got a jar of those under my kitchen sink, because if you're sitting on one of these and you miss this moment, you'll kick yourself harder than a guy who traded his Bitcoin for pizza back in 2010. And don't worry if your eyesight isn't what it used to be. Grab a magnifying glass or borrow your grandkid's science kit, because the devil is in the details. Let me tell you about Roberto, retired auto mechanic from Oklahoma. He'd been saving coins since the 1970s. It's nothing fancy, just habit. One day, while organizing his garage, he found an old Folgers coffee can filled with pennies and buried near the bottom. A 1960 D small date penny with a visible doubled die. He sent it in for grading. It came back MS67 red. That coin sold for $1.3 million at auction, and today, Robert's living debt-free in a lakeside home with his grandkids, all from one coin. One moment of curiosity right now. The market for rare coins is hotter than ever, weary seeing investors shift from stocks and crypto to physical assets, tangible history they can hold in their hands if you own a 1960 penny or any Lincoln pennies from 1950 to 1975. Now is the time to act. Sort your collection by date and mint mark. Examine each coin under magnification. Compare with certified images online or visit a reputable appraiser. If you suspect you have the real deal, submit it to PCGS or NGC for authentication once verified. Explore auction platforms like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers, but move fast because as the news spreads, more coins will flood the market and exclusivity will drive value down. Here's what you don't want to happen a year from now. Someone calls you, tells you the same 1960 penny you once gave to your nephew just sold for $1.80 million, and all you can do is shake your head. Don't be that story, be the success story. That coin could be in your home right now, right in your drawer, in that old coffee tin, waiting for you to pay attention. You've just learned how a copper coin the size of your thumbnail could rewrite your financial future. Now it's your turn. Get up, check your change, dust off those jars and start hunting. Subscribe now for more tips on rare coins that are actually worth millions. Turn your forgotten change into wealth and take one step closer to living the lifestyle you deserve, because in the world of coin collecting, 1 cent could be all it takes. Have you ever walked past a penny on the ground and thought, it's just a cent, not worth the bend? Well, what if that penny could be worth nearly $2 million? Imagine this. You're cleaning out a dusty old drawer, flipping through a coin jar, maybe even cashing in some spare change at the grocery store, when suddenly, something catches your eye. A simple, brown, worn 1980 Lincoln penny, with no mint mark and nothing flashy. No shine. No glitter. But that unassuming coin could be your ticket to a wealthier lifestyle, if you know what to look for. And now, here's a little twist. Most people spend their whole lives searching for fortune in all the wrong places: stock markets, lottery tickets, or get-rich-quick schemes. But sometimes, wealth hides in plain sight, right there in your pocket. Change.no. Really, how often do you pause and check if there's a rare gem in your hand? You might laugh, but some of the wealthiest coin collectors today started by accident. One man found a rare penny in his grandfather's cigar box and sold it for over $1.9 million. Stick around, because in this video we're going to unlock the secrets of the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny, why it's worth so much, what specific details to watch for, and how you can turn forgotten coins into serious money. And by the end of this video, you might just rush to your closet and dump every piggy bank you've got. So don't blink, don't skip, and definitely don't assume you've seen a penny like this before, because this isn't just a coin story, this is a story about lost value. And if you're not paying attention, you might already be walking past a fortune. The 1980 Lincoln penny, specifically the one with no mint mark, has become a legend in numismatic circles. And for good reason. Now here's the thing. Most 1980 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, and back then, Philadelphia coins weren't marked with a P. So finding one without a mint mark is actually normal. Here's where the goldmine starts. Some of these coins, despite being made in massive numbers, were struck with significant errors: double die obverse errors, off-center strikes, wrong planchet compositions, floating roof anomalies on the Lincoln Memorial, even bizarre copper zinc transition misprints that shouldn't exist in 1980, but do. Each of these features can catapult the value of the coin from 1 cent to hundreds of thousands, or in ultra-rare cases, millions. Let's talk about one collector, an Illinois man in his late 60s, who found a 1980 penny with a triple die error and no mint mark, graded and authenticated. It sold for just over $1.9 million at a private auction. A coin worth 1 cent, sold for almost $2 million. That's the kind of magic we're talking about, and here's where the fear kicks in. Millions of these rare 1980 no mint mark pennies have probably been spent unknowingly, dropped in parking lots, or cashed in at Coinstars, which means the rarest coins could be slipping through your fingers right now. Let me interrupt for a second with a little humor. If I had $1 for every time someone told me it's just a penny, I wouldn't need to find $1 million one. I'd already be rich. If you're still holding onto your childhood coin jar or have inherited your grandparents' collection, you might be sitting on something that could change your life. Let's break down how to identify a valuable one. Located under the date, it should be clean. No P, no D, no S. Use a magnifying glass or microscope. A doubling in the date or Lincoln's eye? Jackpot. Pre-1982 pennies were made of 95% copper, weighing 3.11 grams, but if your 1980 penny weighs 2.5 grams, it may have been struck on a zinc planchet in error, a serious rarity. Are there pillars missing or misaligned? You're not crazy. That could be a valuable misstrike. Every year, collectors and investors spend billions on coins, not hundreds, not thousands, billions, and the rarer the coin, the higher the stakes. What if your coin has 2 errors stacked on top of each other? That's not rare, it's ultra rare, and we'll cover exactly how to spot that in just a moment. But first, let's talk about what happens once you find one. Let's say you found a 1980 Lincoln penny with no mint mark and a rare error. Don't rush. The biggest mistake collectors make is selling too soon, to the wrong buyer. Here's what you should do instead: send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Mint state, MS, 65 or above? We're talking serious 6 or 7 figures. Proof is power. No dealer, collector, or investor will pay top dollar without verification. Avoid local pawn shops. Instead, seek private collectors, major auctions, or numismatic brokers who specialize in rare U.S. coins. Some collectors are searching for specific years to complete their million-dollar sets. If your 1980 no mint mark penny is the missing piece, you've got leverage like never before. Now let's land this plane that you've just discovered that the very coins we ignore every day, those little copper discs, can hold the power to transform your lifestyle. They can pay off mortgages, they can send your kids to college, they can turn an average retirement into a luxurious one, but only if you know what to look for. So go check your drawers. Flip your couch cushions, and for heaven's sake, stop skipping over those pennies, because one of them could be worth more than your car, your house, or your entire retirement savings. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe for more powerful insights on coin values, strategies to sell smart, and real stories of everyday Americans turning change into fortune. Your million-dollar moment might just be one coin away. Keep hunting. Keep looking, and remember, in the world of rare coins, the difference between a penny and $1 million is often just